So I mentioned that we are going to talk about wall today, right? So, like I said, walls are basically components that are made in Revit. These components are smart components. These objects have a place where you place them, but everything lives in this property, right? So, for instance, I'm going to make a new wall in the ether. I'm going to go to a grade floor. I'm going to put a wall here. It's outside the space. I'm going to make a new wall, architectural wall, but what we are in architecture, so we always do architecture things. And I'm going to make a to any type of wall. Let's say a brick ceiling wall, right? So you can see the parameters and the thickness of the wall, the how these walls look are already embedded in the parameters, right? So you don't change the parameters of the wall. If you want to define and edit the type of the parameters, we can talk about that in a second, but everything is kind of already predisposed or pre-given to each wall. The only thing you can change in terms of parameters will be the height, right? Where it's located in terms of what floor plan or base plan you're building in terms of elevation. Where is it connected to? Whether it's connected to a roof or another slab, right? You can, and then you can change things here, like how you want to offset it. So for instance, this wall is already, everything is very out here, it already has an offset of 1 foot, like -1 foot, meaning that this wall cavity is a foot thick, right? So right now you're seeing this wall. Right now it looks coarse, so it's not the level of coarse because it's like how we have this view defined. I can change this to fine, and you can see that it's already really new in this cross section that you see, right? Where the brick is located, right? The air gap, which is this white thing, the insulation, and then the mason, as well as the drywall, right? See it there? So if I go to 3D, right here, you see the brick, right? Right? So let me make this font different here. So this wall already has parameters. They are predisposed to change. The only thing I can do is I can make modifications to this wall, but if I make modifications to the type, it basically changes the topology. So you want to be mindful. If you want, you can create new walls and you can make modifications. Let's say that I don't need the masonry for this wall and I want to make a wall that will change completely something else. Or I don't need the air gap. I can turn those into. I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to go in here to show you. So this is the thing you want to edit. This is structure. This is the structure. The wall is telling me not to wrap, so basically you're not seeing the brick ending on the side. You can change that too, right? You can change it to exterior. You can wrap it up to exterior or interior. I'm already saying not to wrap the wall, basically not to wrap the apex. You can wrap the ends, interior, exterior as well. But right now I'm choosing not to do that. So I just showing you, this is the primary. So this is the structure. This is what this wall is composed and constructed. So Revit knows how you're constructing this wall. Okay. So for example, I said it, there is a finish material, right? Which is a brick coating. And it's like 3 and 1 something, 3, 4, yeah, 3 5/8. So this is your brick layer, right? And there's a mortar, there's brick, that's what we're, right? In that brick, there is what we call thermal air layer. So the air layer will have a gap. That's why you see that gap, right? To show it to you, preview, right there, right? So you have your finish, your air gap, your rigid insulation, your damp proofing is that line, your concrete masonry, the gap where you choice it, and the structure. Basically, this wall is already defined for you. So if you're looking to design let's say a facade or a building, and you like have to come up with the envelope of the building, this is how you do it in Revit, right? Everybody clear with that? In the past, before Revit was able to be this complicated or have this information, people will actually build different walls offset of another, which was mayhem. You have like 10 different walls separating a space. But now Revit have made it so you can have one component, which one wall, that you can define the different layers of that thermal insulation or that thermal framing. Okay. Everybody clear understand that? Okay. If it's not clear, please raise your hand, because this is kind of technical, but it's good to know because you can define your construction based on what type of construction you want to do.
Can you change materials in this window? Like if you were.
Not in the window.
Okay.
You mean here?
Yeah.
Yes, you can change. I can change that wall.
So like if you wanted a different sort of insulation or like.
Right. You can change the type of material you want to use for the facade. You can change the type of rigid insulation. You can change the thickness, right? You can change whether you want to do masonry or no masonry, but if you want to do steel studs, you can do that.
Can you change your performance?
You can change your brain form too. But that's mostly a graphic thing. But you can change yours. So where it says brief comment, you can change that to something. Yeah, you have a question.
Does it only apply to the face of the wall or are you use that?
You can do to the whole wall. So basically so think about this as like I mentioned this a couple of times when I talk to when you do a section, it's like a cake. This is actually a cake, right? So you're cutting the building, you have your layer, your pastry or portion of the sweet part of the cake, and then all the different layers of the cake, right? That's how Revit sees walls. And you can change this, and this is helpful because what it does is if I'm making a schedule of materials, I can input that information and says, okay, how many square footage of rigid insulation you have. So it'll tell you because it already exists within the building. This is why Revit is such a useful tool. Okay. So yeah, so basically you can edit the assembly and make a new type of assembly. But if you're going to do that, instead of modifying the assembly, make a copy. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It's real quick. I'm not going to spend too much time doing it, but so for instance, I can duplicate this wall, right? Instead of being a break on CMU, I'm going to say break on steel frame, right? So now this is a new family that exists within my wall family. So I'm going to edit because I know that I don't have the structure is not concrete anymore, right? So I can change what it is. I can change maybe look for steel stud or steel framing, steel stud layer, right? And I'm going to say okay, but I know that my stud is not going to be 7. That's the thing. So what we like say 3/8, right? I'm going to do okay, and you see how it modifies the wall. So now I have a new assembly catering my type of construction. Is that clear? So if I make this assembly, instead of making this wall I can change the rigid insulation to whatever it needs to be. I can move the air gap, I don't need that big air gap. I'm not having concrete, and so on and so on. So you can make modifications to the type of wall you are using according to your needs and construction. Right, that's clear? We don't do that much. Typically you get Revit comes with a family already with enough partitions that you don't have to modify them, but sometimes, in some occasions, you need to do it. No. Okay. Yeah.
You want to save that? Is it going to be better than just sending it to the file?
Yes. So right now, this already exists in my file. For instance, it didn't change, right? So the wall did change. Didn't change, but I can go here. Modify that wall. Yes, yes. No, I created a wall. So I selected wall in properties, and then I edit the type. And what I do, instead of editing the type, I duplicate the wall. I make a new copy, because I don't want to change the existing one, right? I want to keep it the way it is. And so I don't change the wall. Right? But it's good to know that information, because if you need to make modification to something, that's how you do it. Right? Let's say, for instance, I have a project and the client wants to change all the masonry, or say all the CMU for steel studs for cost saving because it's cheaper, then I can make those changes. I can select all my walls and change all the walls that are exterior walls into studs. And if you keep if you do it correctly, let's say you have your offset is from the interior wall out, then your wall will compress in size, keeping the same interior without making any change to the interior dimension. And then you can change the wall for the. Is that clear? But that had very rare, I mean, I had a project like that, but you hardly see that changing so fast, so advanced in the project. Okay. Right. So yeah, so that is how you modify walls. So like I said, walls are not, they're basically smart objects that have parameters. You can modify the parameters based on materials, and also parameters in terms of height, how things will wrap, if you want things to be wrapped or have an edge, all those conditions you can make into the wall. Also, the other thing, walls are, sometimes you have to add reveal, right, into a project. You know what reveals are? So reveals are hard to explain. So basically, they're the symbols in the wall. Like if you have a wall, right, and let's say I want a reveal, basically like a line, because maybe I want to create a joint or control joint or have two different materials. We reveals basically like if I look in the section, it's like a forcing out of the wall. So this is the wall. You create like a little motor around the wall. We call those reveals. So basically, how do you reveal the wall or different materials? You can do that. You can apply different materials to different walls. Those in Revit are not part of the wall. You have to like a control. You add those. But if I say this, you have to add a reveal to a wall. It basically is like a smart object that you can apply to it. Right? You'll see what I mean. Right now, it's not important. I just tell you things that will be coming up. So everything, like I said, everything has a parameter. Everything is a smart object. Any clear so far, that point? And you can modify things as you need to modify. Okay. So again, the things you control are the height, right? Let's say this needs to be a 20-foot wall, 20 feet, and automatically the wall goes 20 feet. Also, do you see this here? So Revit, if I need to make changes to the wall, let's say some dimensions, Revit has a way to, if I select this, I can just make the dimensions of the wall larger. But what it does, it goes from center out. So if you make this, say, 200 feet, it makes it 200 feet from the center out. So to keep that in mind, okay? Also, I can transform if I go to plan view, select this wall, I can make this, see this here, if I press it, it creates a dimension. So we'll go back so you can see it. So click on this, you see this dimension here? This dimension does not exist. So if I turn it off, it's not there. If I click the wall, the dimension appears. Give you the dimension of the object, of the wall, right? But I say I want to save that dimension, keep that dimension there. If I click this dimension icon, it makes a dimension for you. I'll show it for you. That understand? So that is the cool thing about, one of the cool thing about it. All right. So those are walls and wall and types. Right. So here you have a whole bunch of types, right, that you can use to predispose. You can play with them, you can change them. if you make changes, remember to not to edit the original wall, to make duplicates. So if again, I'm gonna go back, if I select the wall that I want, and I wanna make changes, I go to edit type, I duplicate the wall, and then I rename it what changes I'm making. You always wanna keep it in a way that makes sense to you, and that makes sense to whoever is gonna take over the project. Right, don't name it like, Nico's stud wall. So who knows what, I have to open the wall to know what the wall is built from, right? So you say masonry with galvanized, or masonry with steel stud, or masonry with unfinished wall, you know, then you understand what it is, and you use it accordingly. Okay, is that clear? Will be, all right. So that is walls. All right, we talked about floors, similar to floors, right? I'm gonna make a floor, so typically we stay with floor architecture. Everything here we're gonna do, again, I'm gonna leave, right? It's always gonna be architecture, please. Not focusing on anything outside architecture. Doesn't mean that we won't use other things, but architecture is typically what we are going to be applying in this class. So I make a floor, and the way you can make walls, oh, one thing I didn't mention yesterday. Yesterday we were using the line tool, right? To make a floor, right? So this is a floor right here. Actually, let me make it. Let me make a floor like this. This is a floor. Okay, so what does this show? Is the edge of the slab. These two lines show the edge of the slab. That's why we show the edge of the slab. That's what it defines. This is like the edge of the slab. And so if I say yes, that's my floor, right? But you can also make floors, like any floor. Okay. You can make floor by using the rectangle tool or the circle tool, right? And floors, right? One thing is that I didn't mention yesterday is that let's say you have a CAD drawing that you import in, and you say it's like a floor that you need to copy. Well, let's say let me just draw some lines here. Let's say this is my CAD floor. I need to make this like my deck floor house, right? Well, instead of me trying to make a floor, I'm going to make a floor. I didn't say this just that far. Instead of me selecting, like drawing each line over this, if you see this, like this green line, the thick lines right here, there, right? I select this big line. I can select the whole line. Now I'm done. That wouldn't work for a JPEG, no, but it work for a CAD drawing. Usually that's how you do it. You pick the lines. Make sense? And again, floors are the same way. So here you have generic floor. Let's say I want to do a concrete on a metal deck, wood joist, and ceramic tile, wood joist with wood finish, carpet, you name it, it's all here. And you can make modifications to this floor as well. Right, this is the decking if you want to like 3-inch concrete on metal deck, right? So you see in 3D, this one will look different because I mean, right now it's showing quartz, but if you do a section, it will show you. It shows you that go into fine. You can see, and you can see the decking, right? So it shows you the decking of the material. So this is why this, we typically want to do things realistically the way we're building this so when we do sections, we don't have to redraw things as much as we do. We do a lot of details in Revit over real model, but usually we want to get at least the most context of what we are actually fabricating that looks realistic in the model phase. That makes sense? So like, if you were building something and I said, it needs to be wood structure with like wood finish, don't do like a concrete floor. Your client and your boss will be very happy if you're using just the same, like a generic floor. You want to be as realistic as possible. Because if I have to send this to a finish schedule, that finish schedule will tell me how much material, for instance, square footage I have in this floor. And I can actually send this to a cost estimator to give me a price. Usually there's a plugin for cost estimators to work in Revit at the same time as you build your model to see the actual cost of construction. This is how accurate this stuff is. Yeah. You use it if you're doing a wood construction, wood framing, wood floor, depending what type of construction you're doing, residential. If you do residential, you just need either 10-inch joist, 12-inch joist for your floor joist. 5/8, maybe like a sound proofing between the floorboard and your subflooring, and then finish floor on top, which usually is either 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch, or sometimes an inch. But mostly engineered floors like 5/8.
And is it gonna include the whole floor system in there? So is it gonna include like your ceiling finish on the bottom?
No, so there's a ceiling button, right? And so usually it's a floor structure with a floor finish, but the ceiling finish is a different type of finish. You can add that to a floor if you want to, but traditionally it's not the way it's done. Usually you come your frame, then you frame, then you put your subflooring, then you put your sound insulation and your flooring, and then second come in is the finish, right? They do the drywall and then they attach the drywall to the floor joist.
Do you have to draw something with a normal level floor?
No.
Have to be bigger?
No, it typically you add the subflooring to your floor assembly. Okay. Any speakers before? So yeah, so these are the different tools. So I'm gonna go and show you. Right. So that's a good question. So if you're building a floor, floors are usually inside your walls. So floors get attached to your wall. That's usually how the structure works. Your wall, let's say your party wall, holds the weight of your structure and floors. Unless that you have a core that carries the weight of the floor. But typically, if you're doing like a concrete construction, it's beams or columns supporting the floor, or a chase supporting, or a cord supporting the floor. And then you keep the envelope without weight supporting any load bearing. The envelope becomes like its own load bearing structure, so the floor stays. So usually you want to build everything sideways, unless you have like a balcony that sticks out. Make sense? I'm going to delete these things from my model. Right. Okay. Yes. Okay, so by the way, one thing, every time you delete a section, because the section is a live view, right? So when you make section, you see this thing here. When I made a new section of the building, it creates what's called a live view, which is right here. These sections are live views. They're basically views that exist now in the model. So if I delete this view, if I delete this section, it's going to give me an error. Because they say, oh, you also have a call out that you created. I said, well, I will delete the call out view. Sure, and okay. So now both the call out and the section are gone. Does it make sense? So every time you make a new section, it becomes a live view. It's part of the model. So that's something you can always go back to. Yep. Okay. All right. What? Okay. Okay. All right. So I talked about walls, volumes, and we'll talk about ACS. Floors and types. And we'll talk about now roofs. We have the roof. And then we'll go back, leave them on the current wall system. So I'm going to make my roof. The great thing about my roof is that my roofs are depicted here. These dashed lines are my roof. And because it's a flat roof, it's even better. Yes. So I'm going to create a roof. See, roof by footprint. You can do roof by face or roof by structure or by structure, but we are doing a roof by footprint. Okay. I'm going to create a new roof. I'm going to make the roof top. So I want the roof to be on top of my roof, which I created that face. Right? Remember that? The roof. So I'm going to use a generic roof. I'm not. Yeah, this is generic roof right now for the moment. I'm going to use a generic roof. That's going to be the 9-inch roof because I want the profile to be thick. So I can make a rectangle here. And okay, so important. You see this thing here? These little triangles, very important. These little triangles define the pitch of your roof. So that triangle basically means the rise or on a pitch roof. Everybody know that what I mean? So if you have a pitch roof, so it's not like 12 or 4 or 12. It's the height that the roof goes up by the distance. Okay. So because it's a flat roof, I am going to turn off all the turn off these. I don't need to define the slope on it. Okay. There's not going to be a slope on it. So you see where it says define slope? I'm going to turn that off. No slope. It's a flat roof. Okay. That's it. I'm going to make my other roof here. I'm going from this point to this point. Right there. Okay. Continue. Wait, no, oh. This one, I just now define this. I want to define slopes. No, define slopes. Okay, and turn off. And I'll do okay. Continue. What do we do? What do we do? Fine. Okay. So it says you want your walls to attach. Yes, attach my walls. Okay. And then I'm going to do another one. Now, here. And then I'm going to do one. So I'm going to go here. Roof. Footprints. Yes. Top of the roof. Yes. Do my roof. Another define element. Another rectangle. Do this from here. This here. And do okay. And attach my wall. Sure.
Change and attach it.
We attach the walls to the top of the front. No, basically what it does is if my roof is defined height, then the wall will get below that roof. So it will project all your walls to that top of attach the wall to. That's where you want it. If I make changes to the roof, if the roof goes down up and down, it will move the walls up and down. So the most important thing is that now the parameters of the walls are kind of controlled by that. Does that make sense? So when you create it, it says, if you create the wall with your roof where the layer is supposed to do it, they ask you, do you want to attach your walls to the structure? And then it's like a message that they give you. Okay? So you end up with something like this. Next. So I know that if I go back here to the gray, in reality, this roof has an opening. So the water cannot pitch in. This is not the opening, this is the table. The opening happens here. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna select my wall, my roof. Select the roof, boom. I'm gonna edit my profile. I'm gonna go back to my grid right here, and I'm gonna make another opening that goes from here to here. All right, and hit OK. Now if I go back to my 2D, there's my opening. Easy peasy. Where's the guy? Huh?
Posts. Because on the picture, I see like the posts that they have underneath.
No, so the roof is so we go back to it. So we'll go back to the grid. So the roofs are held by these columns, and then these walls support some of the weight, but in this wall as well, and a little bit of this wall. But this column supports the weight of that roof. The steel columns. They're gorgeous. It's a beautiful building. I love it. I wish I had money to buy it. What? So, can you do that again? How that kind of roof? Similar to, go back. Let me undo. So the way you do it is you select the roof object and you modify the boundary, right? And what you do is you create a new, let's say a new opening, right? So basically saying you have a boundary and then you have an internal boundary. So that boundary becomes like what you're subtracting off from the, right? And like once you do okay, cancel, it looks like this. Right there. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So go back to your elevation. So go to one of the elevation, here. Right, and what is your top of roof? So your roof is correct, but your walls are not. Right? So your walls should be, what the height of the wall should be? 14.6. No, it will be 14.6 if you get from 0 to 14.6.
Offset, well, the first floor is 4 feet.
Right. But remember, you're going from 0. You're going from the grade. So if your wall is touching, Don, if your wall is touching the bottom, right, it's going from 0 to whatever the height is of the wall. Yes. Yeah, you have to bring your wall down to the height of mhm. You can do that, or you can changing over the parameters, yes. Questions? So, take your time doing this. I'm gonna pause the recording, so nothing happen like yes. All right, so where I was, we talked about roofs, right? We done roof, and we talked about walls, and we talked about floors, and how the assemblies work, right? So if you have your model somewhere there, that's awesome. So now we're gonna move to current wall systems. What I didn't talk about yesterday, I just kind of like went over. So I'm gonna go back to my trees, so you can see it. One way also, let me see, save this, look this. If you typically, like I said, Revit does not close your windows. Sometimes you can have, as you keep opening someone in your property browser, you keep opening things. They just hide behind, right? So you want to like see what you have open. You can go to view and say, you can switch by windows if you're looking for something. Sometimes you have like, you know, the project where you have like 300 windows open and you have to like find the door schedule for instance. Well, they're already, you know, you don't want to like reopen it. Or you can close all the inactive windows, right? Or like in some cases, you can have multiple windows open, right? I don't like this because it becomes kind of too much, but sometimes it's good to like see where you are, real quick to show progress, right? But if you don't want to see it that way, with this, you can close all the inactive views. So if I switch to a window, you can close all inactive views. Okay? Okay. And open again my, we'll do glass. Let's see if it's clean. I do the glass. I'm gonna go back to my grade level. This is the only place I know where I have to start drafting my glass. So I'm gonna go back to architecture, wall, right? Wall by type. And then here, like I said, your glass system lives in this technology, right? So I'm gonna take this current wall system, right? Right, I'm just gonna select this one. I'm gonna edit the type. Right now, it has no modules. You can do your. Thank you, are. Thank you so much. Wait, did you model? You left it? Okay. All right. So here, I'm going to create a new. I'm going to duplicate this system, and I'm going to call it wall system 2, current wall system, and because it's going to be just for this project, I'm going to call it Barca. Right? And I'm going to say okay. Right. So this is now a new wall I'm creating, right, for this project itself. This is a new current wall system. I'm going to look for my models, right? I'm going to change that to be the 1 by 1 inch square. I want my borders to also be the 1 inch square, and word 2, 1 inch square. That's sort of my vertical model. And for my horizontal model, it's the same. I'll do 1 inch square, 1 inch square, and 1 inch square. Okay. I also want to define the width on this, right? Because as you can tell, some of these are 4 feet, right? So these models exist at 4 feet. You see them here, 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 here. These are 4 foot wide harvesting material. So I want to adjust the spacing. So I'm going to have a fixed distance of 4 feet. Okay? Everybody see that? With cool beans, okay? So my horizontal grid for my horizontal models, horizontal horizon, I wanted to fix it at 4 But that should be, sorry, no, so that should be not fixed. It should be, that should be nothing. It should be. Because that's a whole vertical, I need, I'm sorry. I need vertical. To change it to none. This one, I want to be fixed and I want to make that to be 4 feet. Okay. I'm gonna do okay and apply. Okay. So now I'm gonna draw my wall. Boom. Boom, boom. Well, there's this spacing is because the wall is closer. But I also noticed that I have to select my walls, right? And actually put it where it's supposed to go. So it's gonna be finished floor. And it's gonna be 10, 6. And all these will be the same, so I'm select them. It's gonna be 6 or 0. Put them in my finished floor, yes. Put in my finished floor, my first floor, and then make them 10, 6. Okay. Right, and then I'm gonna draw the same as well here. The wall. And then make it in my finished floor and make it 10, 6. And I go from here to here. It says give me an error because it simply went up, right? So if I go to my 2D, look at that. Look at that. And hide this. And modify it. Ah. Hmm? Yeah, I should have said the other things. This and hide. Hide. No. Yeah. I differentiate. Okay. Yeah. Just that, select everything. Not, and then I can just do hide. Right, and now you see my system. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is MA for match properties and select my control system. But there's something goofy here. I might just have to draw it again. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I already had locked it, I had defined it. Once I tried to make changes to it, to the kind of do it. But yeah, I don't like how this ball is, so I might just move this ball. Right, this is because I'm defining it now, and I don't want to be making changes. So there's couple of ways to skin this cat. So because I would show you how to make a new family, so why not take advantage of that? Okay, add the parameters. Good point. So components are objects that have parameters. Families are little models that live within the model itself, the bigger model. But how to explain it? So there is Revit sees families as groups of things together. And which are all these systems. And components are objects within those families. In my project browser. So your project browser, by the way, doesn't only show you views. So once we start creating sheets, you'll see everything in your project browser lives here. So for instance, the question was, what are families with components? So components are members of families. Families is the all-encompass thing, right? So like, for instance, if I click this, all my notations, all my dots, all my ceiling, columns, conduit, those are families. And then within those families, there are components that live in those families. Make sense?
Making a wall is a component, but every single wall is a.
Every wall, no, that component is part of the family wall. So think about it like a catalog. Like if you have an Encyclopedia Britannica, you can take the catalog, but it's part of the encyclopedia. So encyclopedia will be the family. That catalog is the component. Okay. So like these are components of this larger family. Okay. So like the glass, the mullions are components of the larger family that is part of the wall. And larger family current wall will be walls. That makes sense? All right. So you should have something like this. Yeah, yeah, not close? Okay.
So when you're looking at the plan,
Mhm.
how, when I looked at that, I didn't see 4 foot panels. I saw 3 larger. If you go to the three or whatever.
These?
Yeah, and if you go to the one on the bottom. Right, I'm not that far down.
So I'm gonna draw. These are the same. These are all the same.
Right, except that one right there didn't look like, they didn't look the same. So I just needed.
Right. So all these rectangles are the same. So if I take a line, you're gonna take an annotation line, so you can see that I'm not. So you go to annotate, right? I'm gonna take a detail line. I'm gonna draw a line from here to here. Right? See that line? Right? If I click a dimension or I select the line, that line is 4 feet. So that's how I know that these mullions, they sit on those lines. So they're 4
But
feet.
when I looked at that, like where the hole is, when I looked at those, I was like, that's not 4 feet, that's 12.
These from
Yeah.
here. Yeah. We can make those, we can make a special family for that if you want. But if you look at the picture, let's go back to,
I just used the other method.
right, okay. Let me go to, and look at the pictures. No, that's not what, right? Go back to. File. So. See there, for me, this looks like, but it could be the some of the entire larger
Yeah, right
family.
there.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we can make this a 12 and then this a 4. We have to make 2 different type of families. If you want to like super happy. Look at that. here, then these are 12, and then these are 4. So we can do that. So the way you will do that is you go back. Yeah, I would go back here to 3D. I will select this one, for instance, right? I'm gonna edit type. This one is called Barca. I can maybe rename it to be horizontal or vertical grid, 4 foot, and vertical grid, 4 feet. And I'm gonna duplicate and make one that says 12 feet.
When you rename it, it's gonna rename all components and that. Like if you unselected that,
Mhm.
and pick another one,
No, just this one. Yeah, because this is the one I'm modifying, huh? No, because you're not supposed to, right? Because you don't want to make changes to all of them. So I'm gonna make this 12 feet.
right, but the other one's really equal. Equal.
Let me see. Yes. Yeah, so no, these get renamed because these are the same family, right? Because I just renamed it, but this one we modified to be the 12 feet. Right, and then we go these here and here. And you see how this one didn't have any issues making changes because I did not link or I didn't lock the equal dimensions that I did before.
So the way to center,
Center the line.
like for example, if that door, if I wanted to center like the living.
Yes, you can. Sure, show you. So let's go to that first floor, right? And you mean center this, right? So you select, you unlock it, right? Select this. I'm gonna click on this lines where the lines are. Or I can just take the dimension line from here, here, to here, right? And do a boom and now center. That's what you're asking?
Yeah, or like, if there's like a little bit extra, you split it to either side. I don't know if there's a point to that.
You could, I mean, I could try to center, move this down and try to center, like, break this but you end up with a little piece here, a little piece there. So, but now that I did this, if I'm trying to change this, you see this? It says there's a constraint involved in that. So now I can unconstrain it, or I can keep the constraint. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm gonna keep the constraint. But maybe I constraint. So now if I'm making any changes, it won't constrain the one. Okay? So like these, we put it down a little more. Down a little more, and then, yeah. As you can see, there's an offset to this madness. So the glass is offset by 1 inch, right? So let me show you. Kind of looks weird, and you can fix it. So if I select this, right? I can take off when I edit type, and then I take off the offset. So the offset, and the top offset. I'm gonna take that top offset out. Yeah, there's an offset.
But isn't it leaving room for the roof?
No, it's not that. Trying to look for. It's like feel like there's an offset to the glass. So this is the system and the glass is in the back. See that? It's a system. And the glass sits behind it. That's why you get like weird double line, but I can fix that later.
I just figured that the volume was bigger than the stuff.
No, is it glass, the modern sitting in front of the glass? Yeah, that's why I'm changing it. The thickness is 1 inch, but
With only some,
this is the glass. Offset right here, so we want to make it 0. See that? It fixed it all. See that?
And then they all adjusted it.
Yeah.
And that's because you can find them.
But because I defined the glass.
Instead of doing the other.
So now if I look at this in plan, no more awkward. Mhm. So I'm gonna show you guys something. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do this. So you see this is the glass. This is the molding. You guys see this? Wait for a second. So we were talking about that right now my glass is offset from my molding. And that is because in reality, glass is offset. But because we want this glass to be kind of flush with our modeling system, because it's an inch, we want to select the glass, for instance, here. I'm going to select this glass, right? So this is right here, this is glass right here. You see this glass here, this system panel glass. I'm gonna change the offset. So right now the offset is like 1 1/4 of an inch. So I make this 0 and I apply. It changes all the glass to the 0 offset. So right now my glass sits flush with my 1 inch metal system. Make sense? So because it needed to be defined, I defined it for this wall. But now all my glass, when I go back, if I don't make a copy of that glass, it's gonna be the glass. Now all my glass now will be a 0 offset. And typically you want to have an offset because you want your glass to sit in the correct position of your model. But because this glaze system is defined for a 4-inch modeling system. Everybody understand what I mean? All right, so in glass, we have a molecule, right? This is our molecule, right? There's a thickness to this material, right? Glass is up and it's up, right? So this thickness, the glass wants to sit somewhere in that thickness. Revit doesn't know which molecule it is. So typically it wants to offset the glass to sit in the right location of that aluminum molecule. The frame. So Revit say, okay, typically, traditionally, it's 1 inch and a quarter offset from the face of the molecule. So the section, this is your molecule, right? This is that little carved out, right? This is like the face. He wants to offset from here's 1 inch, and the glass sits flush. But because our molecule right now is 1 inch, right? The glass was sitting here. So I told the glass, no, you need to be sitting on top of my molecule. Huh? So I told the glass, sitting on my molecule, it took off the object. But right now, all the glass saying, okay, so there's no offset. All the glazes, there's no offset. So if I try to make a new wall with a new system and my system is 4 inches, then I have to make this change in the problem. So you can, so basically what I'm doing, you can recreate a new family of lasers that is offset for this project. You know, so they have no offset, and then for a new project, you can offset the way you do it. Okay, so make sense?
Oh, so when you change system panel glazing,
Yes,
is system panel glazing used in every type of?
in every type of protocol that we have to
So
find.
should we have duplicated it first?
Yes. Yeah. That's right. And attach this to my party system. But because, again, like Revit knows that you can go back and make changes, you can always define the type of glass that you're calling out this protocol system. Make sense? Okay. Just so if you guys are like, oh my God, no. You can always revert back, make a change. As long as- all right. We good? So far, so good? Okay. Everybody got this far? Just raise your hand. Who needs help? And then, if you guys just want to take a 10-minute break, we can take a 10-minute break. Do you need help? When you come back? 10-minute break, we will all sit down with you and then tell me where you are, okay? Okay, cool. You okay? Working with me at the boss recording. Recording. You guys know about this thing, stairs and Revit. Revit, again, stairs are, Revit and stairs are not best of friends, but they do exist. And if you become really good at making stairs, you will get hired. Because Revit, people, one thing people hate in Revit is the stairs. It's looking like company. But we're gonna do stairs today. And we're not gonna really dwell too much on it. So I'm going to go back to my grade level to see the steps that I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. And the steps are, I'm gonna take a quick dimension, I'm doing not aligned from here to here. And it's about 1 foot 6, right? See that there? So all my treads for my steps are 1 foot 6, right? So I have to go up 4 foot from 0 to 4 feet. Let you remember that. So if and I have 7 steps, 1 foot 6. Okay. So I'm going to make the stair. I'm going to make my stair monolithic, or it could be precast. Doesn't matter. We go for precast. And the first thing I want to do is dimension from this point here to this point. As you can see, this is not accurate, because my walls are here. So I'm going to take a dimension from here to here. Oops, sorry. I want to make a dimension real quick before I this point here to here. And point here to here. Yeah. So that is kind of like the run of my stairs. Yeah, there. 1 foot 6. I 1 foot 6. Try the rest of that. So I'm going to draw my stairs. Yes. Draw my stairs. I'm going to go back to stairs. Stairs. And I know that my stairs need to be whatever thickness is. So I'm going to start first with it's a straight run. Monolithic. Here. Back to my 2 stairs. My stairs needs to be, the width of my stairs needs to be 10 foot, 11.7. See that? The dimension. So the stairs to go from ground level at 0 to first floor. You see it there? That is automatically, what it needs to be. So what I need to find is the thickness of those stairs. So I'm going to go edit type, and I'm going to make the thickness. So let me see, this something with here. So that needs to be 10 foot, 11, 7 inches. The runway. And then my tread, right? We said 1'6". Okay, so I'm gonna do okay. And I'm gonna run from here to there. This is what the fair wants to do. Seems like there is a issue with the graphics. So maybe this needs to be bigger. But let me move this. So my width is correct, you see it here, but the run doesn't seem that is right. So I will let me change this edit type to be the width. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 7 is correct. It's just the correct. It's not okay. We go to 3D. See, my stairs are fine. You can delete that random. We can always point to that random thing. My stairs are fine, but they feel a little bit shallow, right? Based on the graphics. So I can maybe make a modification to make the thread longer. They need to be if I want to like practically make it the same. But yeah, it feels to me a little bit that the run doesn't match. But that's on stairs. Those are easy stairs. But the stairs seems to work in terms to get to this point. See that there?
So up the floor, and then you can you take over that.
So basically the steps, this is counting as a step. Yeah, 7 inch round. But you did it. You changed it to what? Or your you what?
I don't remember very well.
So I can maybe change this to 2.6. And apply.
We actually like put on the stairs and purchase it.
Yeah, I can edit the stairs.
Yeah.
For the,
There is no map. I think you have little arrow.
that's the direction. That's the saying. Where's it going? That's just the direction of the run. But this all seems correct. The width is fine. The number of the risers. Just graphically. For some reason, the stairs here were drawn differently. Yep. So I'm right.
I think they changed the wrong side, I think the construction section, when you change the, edit the size,
Sorry.
when you edit the size,
Mm-hmm.
there's a section of the construction. Under that, the line split, and I just got the
Construction. That's the structural depth. That's the thickness of the concrete. No, that's the nosing of the stick. So the where it sticks out the nosing. It's just that we need to find the. Maybe you didn't use. I use monolithic. Let me try. Okay, let me go. Save items. The menus there. And run, and I will change it from monolithic to precast. And go from here to there. So you see this is a 7. So let me select this and any type. Structural depth design. The top. Move. Flanker now. The type here won't change to so right and left and elevated. So it was right. I mean, it is, my chair is right. It looks like this. What? The stairs? Yeah. Yeah. So let me go back to 7 so you can see. So I'm gonna go back to my data. I'm gonna add dimensions to this. So you can see from this point here to this point here, right? And then from this point here to this point here. The most important one is your width, right? So I'm gonna create a new stair. Click on your stairs. Then you can pick either monolithic or precast. I'm gonna go with precast. Right? We'll make the depth of the 2'6", and then the width of the stairs. I want to make the 10 feet, 11, 7/8. The depth of the track, I made it 2'6". The height 7 inches. So the minimum width of my run, which is the thickness of the width of the stairs, I made it whatever dimension this is for me. Whatever dimension is that for you is gonna be different because you model it differently. So once I put that in there, I said okay, then I do my run. You see it there? Still I'm showing the way it's supposed to go. I'm gonna move it to align with my stairs here. And move this down. Boom. Okay, and then these are the handrails. I'm gonna leave this additional handrails in there. About the 3D. There you go. Look there. Fast. I did it fast. Want to do it again? Everybody thought that was too fast. You got it. Your arrow needs to face the way that it goes. Yeah. So you click on the arrow and the arrow will dictate where to go. So the arrow, if the arrow is facing where it goes up, for instance, if I go here, just read it wrong. You see this arrow? It's up, right? So if I edit this, let me show you. I'm going to edit up there. You see this arrow? If I change this arrow the other way, if we click it, it goes to the opposite way. So like, it makes the stairs go the opposite way. So like you see this on run, if I select the arrow, it goes it changes to the other way. So you see here, it says split. Ah, es que no cambió allá. Bueno, entonces, we figured out. Once you do your stairs, in hours, you have to, once you make your stairs, you change the actual tread. Because for some reason it's keeping it at 1 feet instead of making it the dimension I want. So you can change it to 1/6. And now it's correct. Thank you. See, sometimes it says, if I'm gonna go do that. Look at that. Now my stairs look exactly the way that. See that? Click on, so make your run. I'm gonna start again so you can see. Everybody, pay attention on the stairs because it's kind of complicated. Okay? Look this way. I'm gonna go really slow. Really, really slow. Okay? I'm gonna go. Delete this. I'm gonna go back to my grade up. So I need to make stairs that go from grade to the first floor, which is 4 foot higher, right? I know that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? That doesn't matter because Revit automatically will dictate where your stairs will end based on the height of the risers. Everybody understand what a riser is? Everybody know a riser? Okay. Those are my 100 class. I make them measure steps. So the riser is the step, the height of the step, and the tread is where you land on a stairs. So basically, when we call stair run, is the whole run of that stair, the whole distance that you need to climb up to get to a level. Everybody agree with that? Cool. All right, so I'm gonna make a new stair. I pick precast or monolithic. I'm gonna use precast, doesn't matter. Basically, precast is like the name implies, is stairs that get molded in the site and then they get cast with concrete. Okay, that's typically what we're talking about. So I'm going to do a stair run. So I'm going to hit run, and I'm going to go from the direction that I need to go to my stairs. Right? You see that there? So I need to go from the first floor, from the grade to the first floor. So that's how stairs. But you can see here that this risers and these treads are too long. So it doesn't matter right now. I made a dimension that needs to be finally that way. And we'll do okay. Right? You see this? So now these treads are at 2%. I can make the change here. So we'll select the stair, change this actual to be 1'6". See that? The tread actual size. Make the dimension and make the change. Yes. And it fixes stairs to the right dimension. So now when I select my stair, I'm going to move it back to align with my floor here. And then I'm going to delete these handrails because for some reason Revit loves to put those handrails in place. I just delete them. And then that's it. Let's look. I need to move this up a little bit because right now it's like a little bit of whack. Look at that. And if I go to my 3D, there's my stairs. I went slow. Can you do it slower? I went really slow. So those are the steps. So like once you have your stairs done, we can change the tread size, we can change the desired run. Right now we know that Revit is already calculating the 7 treads is enough to get you to from 0 to 4 feet at a tread depth of 1'6". Okay, I'm going to pause my recording and help people who need help. So I'm going to go to Oh, let's go. Okay. In Barcelona, this is the museum. This is the Botanic Gardens, the Font Magique, right? This is the museum here. You go down the steps. And and this is the pavilion. Okay. So they added this stairs here as part to get people from, because this is kind of like a hill area, to get people up as well. But this is not original to the, they added this afterwards. When they moved the pavilion in the 90s. All right, so those who don't know Barcelona, this is El Mare Magnum. This was built in the 90s for the Olympics, as a way of reviving Barcelona into a tourist destination. This is an ensanche. These are all were designed. So this is the old Casco Viejo, or the Gothic neighborhood. And then this is the ensanche. So the ensanche is unique to Barcelona. It's designed by an architect to create these super blocks. And within the super blocks, you have these kind of like separated corners that allows for people to like interact with one another. It's like one of the best city plans ever created. This is the ocean, and this is where the mountains are. So Barcelona, has anybody been there? Don't go in August or July. And if you go, please keep your wallet in front of your pockets. There's a lot of pickpockets that happen in La Rambla. This is just not a good sign. Also, don't be hanging around alleys. Not a good sign. The police will take you unless you're in the alleys. But yeah, that's the place to. It's a beautiful city, right? So yeah, this is new this is new. When they place a building here, this became a new access to it. This is access. But we'll do this thing. We'll add vegetation and everything we want to the project. Okay? All right. So this is the opening, right? This is like a curtain. They added a curtain wall system because they added air conditioning, but before this is open, water went inside the curtain wall system, and that's how they cool the building. So the building doesn't have AC in the 1920s. Okay, good. So let's go back to our model. So you should have something that looks like this, right? Are we good so far? No? Yeah. Okay, so you see this below here? These commands on here. So this command shows you the scale that this drawing is in. This command shows you how detailed, like these are how, basically this works for the views. So the scale of the view, how detailed the view is, and then how do you visualize the style of the view. So if you click on this, you can make it hidden line, color, consistent colors. You can have texture to the object, and you can do for basically it's like a quick rendering of symmetry. Okay, but right now, when we finish this over here, I want to show you how to. I need to also finish my curve wall system here. I'm gonna go real quick. Wall. What's that? Complete. Below. That is the big one. And here, boom. And then make this the floor and I'm sorry. Okay, so now I got my thermal. I'm going to do the easiest thing, last thing, the easiest thing, is this bench. Do I see this? Right? So, to make this bench, it's easy. How are we going to make the bench? Any comments on make the bench? No, 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 don't do roof. You need the floor. Or you want to model in place a component. So we're going to do it two ways. I'm going to show you how to do it two ways. Okay? Okay. So if you want to make a floor, it's easy. You go and do floor. You have to extra floor. And I'm going to take the floor to be in the finished floor, and I'm going to make that floor 1 to 6. Also, right? 18 inches above the floor. Okay? So I'm going to take my floor. I'm going to make this a 4-foot generic. And I'm going to make a rectangle from there to here to here. See that? And I'm going to do okay. So I go to 3D. It looks something like this. You see a floor. You see that, right? But right now is a floating object. Floating object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make model and base components to make the base um, of this sketch. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my grade level, and I'm going to go to architecture. And I'm going to make a component. And this component in place. See that model in place? Like, see that? Right? Like, model in place. And this is going to be a mass. It could be a mass, or it could be a generic model. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to look for, yeah, a generic mass. It doesn't really matter. So it's going to be a mass. Okay? See that? I'll do okay. Cool. Okay. So mass is going to be, what are we going to call it? Let's call it support, bench support, bench support. I'm going to do okay. See that? It's a generic mass. I don't really care too much for what it is. So this is going to be kind of like the shape of this object, right? I'm going to create a form, solid form from that shape, right? And I want that generic form to have a height. So here's my profile, this is my profile, it's good. And it's dimension. So this is how I want it to see it. So it will be seen in floor plan, and any view that I select, it will be present. So like if I have to make a view of this, cutting it, it will cut it. You know what I mean? Like if I have to make sections, it will show this maps and it will show a different detail. Okay. All right, so I'm going to create this form. That's right here. And put this way by the okay. And right, go back to my drawer. You see it here, right? So I'm going to have to edit this again because I need to give this a height. And for some reason, it didn't allow me to give it a height. But profile is fine. That's where I want the profile to look like. Okay. Okay. Validation and level. I want it to be so 1 foot 3. What I'm going to do. Fluid model. Component. From fluid to level. Component. Component. And, yeah. And shape. And somebody else know? Let's see. Mhm. See. No, but I already did it. You see this? You can- What's that? No, it's already good, but this is, but it's still not what I want, because it's like transparent. I want it to be able to see at, see, it's transparent right now, it's not what I want. Material. Hmm. It's not showing me, so, I mean, I see it there, but it's not what I want. See, it's showing like transparent, like a growth model, and it should be solid model. Hmm? No. Okay, yeah. Hmm. This is good. 2, 4. I'm gonna use it right now. Maybe that. Maybe right now. Maybe not. We are new solution. So I'm gonna select this object, control. You see the end of description? That's how high. So that I want to be push it past 0, and I want it to be that 1.2. And I'm doing okay. Now if I go to 3D, yeah, put it in everything. My view is to move to control. Yeah. Can you set it? Yeah, check it. Once you put it, and hold it up. Go to control. And I want to see I wanna go with. I'm gonna go to my view range for range view. Let me check that to paper. Okay, see this here? So I'm gonna create a new model here in this level. So architecture, model component, model in place, and then I'm gonna use generic model. Math model, for some reason, is not giving me like a solid math, so I'm gonna use generic model. Okay, okay, I'm gonna create a new model, exclusion, so I'm gonna create this shape, put it here, I'm gonna align it. And that shape ends up to be 1 foot 2, it's below the 4 inch material, will be okay, will be yes. I can copy and paste it, but yeah, it's one. And I go back to 3D, again, there. So I'm going now, I'm gonna select it. And I'm gonna copy it. To here, 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 here. Like that. And then do okay, finish, and see. I go back to 3D, the model there. They changed this. Mass before it was like a solid mass, and now I think mass is part of the cycle. I don't know. But that's what you do, how you do it. So these are model in place components. See that? Should I redo this again? Should I redo this again? Okay. All right, I'm gonna leave this. Okay. So I'm going to make a model in place component. So what I'm gonna do first, before I do that, I'm gonna control yes. I'm going to draw a annotate line or model line so I can see it is below in the green line. So I'm going to create a geometry that looks like this, right? For now, just for as a guide. So I'm going to go here, right? And I'm going to change my view range to be gray so I can see the model. See that? Go back. So I made this gray because I don't see the JPEG below. You understand that? I don't see the JPEG below on the gray level, and I want to make this model component in place in the first floor. Are we clear with that? So in order for me to see what I'm making, I need to make guidelines, and this is a guideline that I'm creating. Okay. So I'm gonna go here to my first floor, and I change my underlay in this properties to see, so like traditionally you see none. You want to make it, you see the gray level below. Okay. So I'm gonna go here to components, and I want to click model in place. So see that model in place is like where you can model objects in place. So see that with this, and I'm going to look for a generic component. So this generic component, right? I'm going to do OK, and I'm going to call it support bench support, whatever. Bench support for this component. And then OK. And create an extrusion, right? So this is the first thing you want to do is create an extrusion. And I'm going to make the geometry here. Okay, so it's telling me this extrusion n starts at 0, right? On the first level, but ends at 1 foot. So the extrusion goes 1 foot from 0 to 1. See that? But I know that my bench is what? No, my bench is 1 foot 6, but my floor is 4 inches. So I need to make my extrusion 1 foot 2 because I have to take out the thickness of the floor. I think you did. The reasoning behind it. So I'm gonna make this 1'2", okay? See that there? Where the suture ends. Where it starts at 0 because you're making it from the face of the floor, right? From the finished floor up. You're turning up, right? Not down. Okay. So you're okay, right? And then you get this box. See that? Right. So before I say yes and finish this, I'm gonna go to my finish level and I'm gonna copy this box. I'm gonna copy this box. I'm gonna copy this box. I'm gonna copy it. And I'm gonna go to the grade level and go from here, here. I have to go back here. So I'm gonna copy this. Copy. Oh, I think I can not copy it. Oh. I can just finish and I can copy it. So I can copy this. I can just copy it now. Like that. And now when I go to my 3D, I end up with something like this. That makes sense? Mohammed? Tony? We can spend time talking about modern plays. So modern plays become very useful when you don't have components and you just need to make something really quickly. Okay? And for this, it doesn't matter, right? This is something that we're gonna apply material, that doesn't really matter how. It just looks exactly like the photo. If I have to go here and go out the other way, like to here, like that. We just want something like this. And in reality, if we wanted, we could have made the separators for the bench. If you wanted to, we can just copy the floors and give the thickness of the material to create those joints. But it doesn't really matter for this. I see you guys not really paying attention, but it's fine. All right, so yeah, this is what we need to achieve, right? So you end up with something like this. Okay? So get here. Oh, you did it.
Yeah.
I was going slow.
No, you were.
Can I go fast? Any questions so far about this? Hmm? We're gonna model in place the steel columns. No problem. All right. So the steel columns of this building. Details the steel column on the Barcelona Pavilion. Okay. So these are the steel columns, right? And these are the details that Mies van der Rohe came up with for this project. And here we have this image, right? So it's like a perfect cross, little cross that is made of steel. Okay. So I'm going to find the actual dimension so we can be a little bit accurate in that. Go back here, find this. So I'm not going to focus on So this is like a metal plate that's inside, and then it's surrounded by, what's it called? It has a like a stainless steel, profile, which is this. So what you see is the steel plate, the thin steel plates that are across, that actually are the support, and then the decorative steel, stainless steel, skirt, or like the cover. Thank you.
And then the black area is the boy.
The black area is just the book. Yeah. Thank you so much for the work. Cup. Huh? 10 points. So it's 160 centimeters. So 160 centimeters into inch feet, into inches. 62. You have to be millimeters. That's super. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's not that wide. It's like, look at the picture. Not, that's not. 6 inches. Okay, so we're gonna make this about 7 inches, right? I'm gonna go back to my Revit, and I'm gonna go to my first floor. Okay. Before I go to my first floor, I'm gonna go back to my grade, and I'm gonna make real quick just exit for these 4B. So I'm gonna say model place, and make a line that is 7 inches. Wait. I'm just using my model place guidelines. See this? This,
Just measuring stuff.
Huh?
Just measuring the.
Yep.
the work.
and also where the location is gonna be. So I just wanna make sure that I'm able to find these. So I'm gonna copy these, right? Here, right in the center. Right in the center. And then one here. Right. The other one is here. Try to be as close as possible. I'm gonna align the one, make sure that they're aligned. This one too with this one. Align it. And like that. Yeah. So they should align. But for now, I just need a placement of like the thickness of the material. Okay, you want to do that? No. So you want to use architecture, not model place, model line to create the guidelines. Yes, 7 inches. Yeah, right across. Okay. So, okay. So now I'm going to go back to my first one, and I see these dots. See them there? All right. See them there? Okay. So I'm going to use this. I just need one. I just need like the rock location for where my model is going to be, because I'm going to copy. I'll show you. Yeah, before I end finish the entire model. So I'm going to go to components, model blocks. The other, I'm going to look for column and say yes. I'm going to call this cross columns. The other, we good so far? And it's going to be an extrusion. That extrusion is going to end what? 10 to 6. 10 to 6. That's the first one, yeah. So it's the first floor, 10.6, 10 to 6. Yes. Because what? You started the working plane there? but it's not slope, flat on the bottom. No. That's not, I mean, it's like really minimal. To don't define it. You good? You good? Alright. So I'm going to create my solution and create my solution. So it's asking me to make the lines for the solution. So I'm not done. So I'm gonna take this line. Hmm? You can just work. But why would I make a circle? Is it a circle or is it a cross? Hmm? And I'm all going to offset these. So I'm gonna go to modify, I'm gonna offset this to the, check what is the application. 16 centimeters range. So half inch on this side. Hmm? That's not 1 inch thickness. I guess I'll do 1 inch each side. So right now, it's for graphics. We're gonna go back and change this. So what? Maybe half inch. Is that there, 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 and there? I'll delete the one in the center, and I'll delete the one in the center. You see this? Right? And I'm gonna create a line here, line here, and here. Yeah, okay. But I need to trim this.
What was the offset?
Half inch. I'm gonna do this. Yep, don't worry about it. I gotta do this. James, you can draw that line. Back here, there. And like this. Line here. Boom, that, like that. See there? Like that. And I'm gonna copy my cross. I'm gonna copy these lines to be here, here, and here. Yeah. Here. So there's a line for that one. There. Here.
Does this gives you a nicely angle line that track?
Yeah. See there?
So just do the other code.
So I'm gonna do yes to this. For that. And then I can finish one more. How about you, TV? No problem for them. What? Was that right? Yeah. TV? Yes, sir. I chose column. Choose column. If it's a column, use column. If it's like a duck, use a duck. Is it quite like a duck? Not a chicken. So you want to use whatever you're building, you want to use the same family. And then these ones we can later add material, make it. I don't like make it wrong. Look great. is a part, I would say to this part, but this is how your model should be looking somewhat close to this. Not like this. We still have to like add doors and furniture, and I'll put it up, I'll give you the statue. That you're gonna put of the woman coming from the sun. How do I trim? Delete these now. Delete them. Yeah, recording. And make sure I'm sharing. Sharing. Sharing.
Okay, can you go from create them, first level?
So how do I make the columns? Okay. So once you make it in grade level, you make your guidelines, you go to the first one. In the first one, you want to go and change your underlay to see the range level base to be gray or whatever your subfloor is, your level 0, right? Okay, so you do that. So once you do that, you go to architecture, model in place components, and just like model in place component, you want to select columns as the family, right? Okay. So what I should have done in reality was to make the cross in my guidelines actually the same dimension. I'll show you how I should have done it, but if I were not rushing. So if I go here, you see this, we talked about these are half inch. So I'm gonna offset this, let me show you real quick. Offset, so this is gonna be half inch, inch, half inch, right? I wanna modify and break DR, frequency tool. I wanna break the speed. Not what I want to do. We change it now. So I want to like split this. No, it's like it's trim. No, break line. No. So like that. So I want to split this element here, right? So this element now it's 2 lines. See this here? You do this, and I do this. Yeah. And then I just delete this in the middle. SL for split. So you got, and now this line is 2 lines. See that? That's what I wanted to do. SL here and here. And then I can trim this here, trim this here, trim that there, trim that there. See that? And then you want to go to, now that I have this, right? I can finish making the lines, right? So,
You go to the next model.
Hmm?
And you do.
no, so I'll go create a new guideline. So I'm going to go back to my this floor. And I need to delete this. Okay, see that I deleted it. Actually, I'm done first. Okay. You see this? So let me move this into the ether so I don't lose it. All right, so I will go to I'm in my first floor, I'm looking down, right? Down. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna create a new component, model place. Right, see that? And select columns, okay. Columns, we'll call it plus 2, and okay, still there? So you want to do extrusion, right? And you want to either draw your lines using your line tool, or if this was done, I could have used the thick line tool. Like that, and I just complete my instruction. To be close. See there? So then I can copy this. Who needs to go? This one, right? And then I copy them.
When you go on the 3D,
So you see them here. I select them. And I copy them because now they're aligned. Copy them needs to go. Here. I can move it back a little bit. Matter. See? So now, if I finish, right, the extrusion should be okay. I should say my extrusion ends at 10.6. I have all my kind of profile mixed extrusion, and I just finish my model. And if I go back to my first floor, I can delete this. And there. Like a glove. Okay. That's it. So skirts, like small walls, uneven walls, the bench support, the cross columns, and the roof, you get to know, right? You guys understand about the floor, so where you build floors usually you build them in your right elevation, with the right offset, if you need to offset a floor. Typically extrusions, you want to do them in the right floor because the base is always 0, unless you want to change the base size. And then the end of the extrusion is the height. So that's kind of confusing, it's kind of counteractive, but it starts at 0, right, because it's sitting in the floor, and you extrude it up to whatever height it's sitting. Make sense? That's it. We'll talk about cameras and other stuff later, how stuff views and stuff like that for it. But this is what. Look, in 2 days we build. You know. And if you get really fast, we can do a whole project, full project in no time. But you know what I mean. So the things that are missing here now are the doors, right? And I'll show you how to do this. We need to bring a family for that fits in the panel that becomes a double door, like a glazing door. Similar to what you have, but your door is on. The door is sharp, I have it. A lot of things are wrong. You good? You got it? Okay. So if you want to also make things nicer, you can add soffit to your, or metal coping to your roof. We can talk about that later. But so far, I just wanted you to get this built and get as far as you can. Yeah? Any questions for me? Want to start recording? You're gonna want to make this